But we don't need to worry because the British government is spending pots and pots of money on defence. And they've just published the latest statistics. So they've got a little bit of video that they published on Twitter this morning. What's that, £25 billion? £2 billion coming from Scotland, 186 million coming from Northern Ireland and so on. So this is all fantastic. Apparently all of the nations of the UK have increased their spending. And this means that there's an average of £370 per human being in the UK being spent with UK defence companies. And that is supporting 209,000 jobs at the moment. So the British government extremely excited about that. But of course, what they're not excited about was the recent comments from Donald Trump. And he was talking...
NATO was busted until I came along. I said, everybody's going to pay. They said, well, if we don't pay, are you still going to protect us? I said, absolutely not. They couldn't believe the answer. They asked me that question. One of the presidents of a big country stood up and said, well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay. You got to pay your bills.
So the British politicians and British mainstream press going absolutely nuts over that statement. They're apparently panicking over whether Trump will become president once again. But of course, if they were paying attention, I realize that there have been, 3 prime ministers since Trump originally made these comments. But if we go back to 2017, Trump opened NATO's headquarters in Brussels. We've got a picture of it here. And this was him standing beside Jens Stoltenberg with the 9/11 Article 5 memorial, which is outside the NATO headquarters in Brussels at the moment. But Trump was absolutely clear at that meeting that defence spending by European countries would have to be increased, that the US was no longer going to pay for European defence. Well, this is what he said.
I have been very, very direct with Secretary Stoltenberg and members of the alliance in saying that NATO members must finally contribute their fair share and meet their financial obligations. But 23 of the 28 member nations are still not paying what they should be paying and what they are supposed to be paying for their defense. This is not fair to the people and taxpayers of the United States. And many of these nations owe massive amounts of money from past years and not paying in those past years. Over the last 8 years, the United States spent more on defense than all other NATO countries combined. If all NATO members had spent just 2% of their GDP on defense last year, we would have had another $119 billion for our collective defense and for the financing of additional NATO reserves.
So it shouldn't really, sorry, Brian, I was just going to say, it shouldn't really be a surprise to anybody that Trump would make a statement like the one he made a couple of days ago, despite the hysteria in the UK press, which would imply that they were surprised by it in some way. But nonetheless, our budget, US, UK, EU budget on defence is an order of magnitude higher than Russia or China. And yet we don't have hypersonic missiles. We have a collapsing military. Why is that?
Well, for us, for the UK, I believe it's because we no longer have any reliance on building equipment in-house. We've been told for many years we don't have the knowledge, the experience, the professionals, the quality of people. Everything was outsourced to a mismatch across the European Union. And what did we get? Poor, low-quality products at inflated prices. But I just wanted to comment on that speech by Trump, because look at the faces of the Europeans in the background glowering and looking extremely unhappy. For people who say that all these people, the Americans and NATO, work together as one cohesive bloc, they're all in it together, I don't think this is quite true. You can see the fractiousness between them.